area. Well, again, repeat the step and create the second layers. Well, when you're applying the base, make sure don't get the base onto the cuticle area, because the powder will pick up whatever base is applied, and it may easily cause the lifting problem. Well, again, apply the base again and sprinkle the powder. Just tap, 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 tap it off. Well, sprinkle the white shimmer on the right side. Just do it very randomly, so that we can create a very natural blending, while using the brush to help you brush off the excess powder. Next, we are going to put the decals on. Because the decals is sticky, so we don't need to apply the base. We just directly put these decals on, so that it can just well stick on the nail surface. Well, then we are using this silicone pen to press it and make sure it stays on your nail surface very well. Just press it and make these decals look even and no wrinkles. And every time when you put stickers on, you have to apply one layer of clear powder to protect the nail art surface. Well, tap off the extra clear powder and brush off the excess. So now we already finished the 2 fingers of this vertical ombre nail art design. And next we're going to do another nails. Well, repeat the steps, apply the base. Just make sure every time you brush it evenly. While still using this fluffy brush, and just sprinkle the powder on your nail plate. Well, for this nail art design, we only sprinkle the powder on around the nails. We are not going to sprinkle the powder on the middle, because we are going to put the decals on the middle part, and just to like to create a very translucent surface. As you can see, we only sprinkle the powder around the nails, around the nail plate. Well, again, repeat the sprinkle steps and just dab the color powder around the nail plate. Make sure the powder won't be sprinkled on the middle, because we're going to put the decals on. Well, brush off the excess powder. Well, next we're going to pick up one sticker and just put it onto the nail plate. Well, as you can see, we'll just put it on the middle part of this nail plate. And when when you apply the top coat on, you're gonna see it is a kind of translucent. It just make it look very unique and special. And when you put the decals on, you can use a silicone pen to press it and make sure it stays on your nail plate. And remember, after every time decal use, you have to apply one layer of the clear powder as a coverage to protect the nail art surface For our fast drying clear powder, it is also belongs to the fast drying dipping powder system. It is not a regular powder. Well, then we turn to another hand and repeat this nail art design. While using this fluffy brush to apply the nude shimmer on, just around the nail plate. Make sure the powder won't pick up on the middle part. For this part, we are going to apply the decals on. Just sprinkle them and tap, 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 tap it off. Just do it very randomly and naturally. And using the fluffy brush to sweep away the loose powder. Again, repeat the number 1 base. Just do it very carefully and make sure every time you brush it evenly. And using this fluffy brush to apply the powder on. Just tap, 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 tap it off. And using the fluffy brush to help you sweep away the excess powder, so that the brush won't pick up the powder on it. And next, we're going to put the decals on. Just put it in the middle part of the nail plate. And again, using this silicone pen to press it and make sure it can stay on your nail plate very well. Well, make sure the decals are very even and no wrinkles, so that it won't take off on your nail plate. And remember that after every time decals, you have to apply 1 layer of the clear powder as a cover to protect the nail surface. For our fast drying clear powder, it is the same as our fast drying dipping powder system. It is going to be dried within 30 seconds. Now let's turn to another finger and apply the base. Just brush it midway down the nails and push the liquid to the cuticles. Well, make sure don't get any base onto the cuticle parts, because the powder will pick up wherever base is applied. Well, now we are doing this kind of color block style by using the 145 and 150 colors, these 2 shimmer colors, to do this kind of color block. And then apply the base again and make sure every time you brush it evenly from middle left to right. Make sure the base is applied on the nail plate, because we want the powder well stick on the nail surface. Then we dip into the white shimmer at an angle. Stay for a while so that the glue can well absorb with the powder. Well, tap off the extra, then we turn to another color and dip into it. Stay for a while and take out. Tap off the excess powder. Using the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. Well, for our fast drying dipping powder, it can dry within 30 seconds, so you can see the powder won't stick on the brush. And next, we are going to create the stir layers. Well, make sure every time you brush it evenly. Then dip into the white shimmer color, stay for a while. Well, take it out, tap it off, then dip into the second color. As you can see, the colors won't mess up with each other because both colors can dry within 30 seconds. So it is very easy for the rookies or beginners to apply. Well, as for both two colors, they are the shimmer colors. For shimmer colors or the colors with the narrow design, we have to apply 1 coat of the clear powder to protect the nail surface. Now we are turning to another hand and create this nail design again. As you can see, our base is very easy to apply. It won't keep running everywhere and we can control it very well. Then again, dip into this white shimmer color, stay for a while. Then we dip into the second color, the nude shimmer color. Tap it off and use this fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. Well, make sure every time the base is applied on the whole nail plate. Brush the base over the entire nail so that the powder can well stick on the nail surface. Then dip into the white shimmer at an angle. Stay for a while, take it out, and dip into the second color. Tap it off, use the brush to help you to sweep away the remaining powder. Now apply the base again to create the 3 layers. And this here is a professional tip when you are applying the base. Make sure don't get any base onto the cuticle area because the powder will pick up whatever base is applied. Then dip into the white shimmer color. And then dip into the second color, stay for a while. Tap it off. Well, use the brush to help you brush off the excess. As you can see, by creating the 3 layers, we can see the color is very full pigment. And the nail surface is very smooth. Remember that when you are using the shimmer colors, you have to apply 1 layer of the clear powder to protect it. Because next we are going to do this filing and the buffing process. Now let's turn to the small fingers. Now we are going to apply the number 1 base. Just make way down the nails and push the liquids to the cuticle area. And make sure every time you brush it evenly. Then dip into the color powder, stay for a while, and make sure the powder and glue can be well reacted. And use the brush to help you brush off the excess. And then we apply the base again. Just do it very carefully. Then dip into the color powder. Stay for a while and take it out, tap it off. Using this fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. As this is the shimmer color, so we are going to apply the clear powder on to protect this nail surface. Well, next we are turning to the top finger. Repeat those steps. Apply the base again. Well, for this top finger, it is bigger than any others, so we have to make sure the base is applied on it so that the powder can be absorbed with the dip glue. Brush off the excess powder. And then apply the base again. Just carefully pack the second coat of the base over the entire nail. Then immediately dip at an angle into this next shimmer. And you can also repeat for more coverage as needed. But for us, it is the solid shimmer colors, so we only do 2 coats, and that is enough. And then apply the base, then dip into the clear powder as a cover. Tap it off, brush off the excess powder. While using the number 1 base, avoid getting the base onto the cuticles. Now dip into the color powder. Stay for a while, take it out, and using the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. And during the application, once you find out your brush gets hard or gets dirty, you can just put it into our number 4 brush saver to clean it. Then using a lint-free wipe to wipe off the excess liquid. Then just put it back to the bottles. Then dip into the clear powder to protect the nail surface. Well, let's turn to the top finger. Using the number 1 base. Make sure you brush the base very evenly. And avoid getting the base onto the cuticles. Because powder will pit out whatever base is applied, and it's gonna cause the lifting problem. Brush off the excess. Just apply a very thin and quick stroke. Do not apply too much base. Because when you dip into the color powder, if you apply too much base, the powder might get clumpy because they are all accumulated with each other. Using the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess. As you can see, by creating 2 layers, the color is very full. Now we are applying the base again and then dip into the clear powder as a cover to protect the nail plate. Because next we are going to do the buffing and filing process. Well, make sure after every time used, keep the caps kindly closed because you don't want to mix up the colors. Well, let's clean the messed up so that we can move to the next step. Next, well, we are going to do the e-file by using this drill machine. Well, when you're doing the filing, just file it very lightly because the nail surface has already got even. For our fast dry dipping powder, it is very smooth with correct sizes, so we don't need to file or buff a lot. When you finish 2 layers or even 3 layers, the nail surface still got very even and not very clumpy. So you just do it very slightly. And when you are doing this kind of filing, you have to use 2 fingers to help you to protect the cuticle area, because we don't want your skin gets hurt. Well, basically, we need to file the nail plate first and do it slightly, then we turn to the cuticle area. Well, just file the clumpy or uneven nail surface. Well, you have to do the filing carefully on the cuticle M22 and 45 pm. Just do the filing very slightly from nail plate to cuticle area. And for the details about the lining deal, you can also check out the pictures at the right corner. It has the time details on it. Don't miss the chance because you're gonna have it by a very favorable price. Well, for when you guys are using this drill machine, you can well adjust the speed of the machine, and you can just try it on your skin first to see whether it gets hurt or not. Well, we are gonna file any clumpy or uneven places from nail plate to cuticle area. And then we are using this nail file to shake the desired nails as you want. You can also find it from our GH accessory kit. Well, for our GH accessory kit, we got 1 dip tray, 1 nail file, and 1 buffer, and 1 clear powder. And also, there are some nail tips for some beginners or rookies to practice. Well, if you are the first time to try the dip powder, you can use the nail tip to practice. As we all know, practice makes perfect, so just keep practicing. And when you are finally try on your actual nails, I think what it finally come out is gonna be a very perfect nail art design. Well, just file any shapes as you want. Because different kind of people might suit different kinds of nail shapes. Someone like the vertical, someone like the round one. So just do it as you like. Well, remember that do not over filing or buffing. Now we are using the buffer to do the buffing. Well, we just use our coarse grit buffer to even out the preferred thickness of the nails. And then we turn to the 240 grit buffer to smooth the nail surface. And just repeat these steps on the 10 fingers. And some clients complain that they are having issues with the nails popping off or lifting. Well, for this point, I think the preparation is a very key point. Especially for beginners, you have to learn to how to do the preparation before getting started. Like before performing any service, make sure your guys' hands are properly sanitized, and then you can start the preparation. Like push back the cuticles, and you have to cut off the excess cuticles or some dead skins around cuticles to avoid the lifting problem. And then remove the natural shine or any oil from your nail bed by using the nail file. Just slightly buff the nail bed before application. Well, this kind of preparation will help you to adhere the powder to your nail bed. But remember that don't polish your nails too hard because it's gonna hurt your natural nails. So just do it very slightly and carefully. And if someone still don't know how to do this kind of preparation, you can also check it out, the video from Facebook or YouTube. Just search GHdip. You can find out those tutorials on how to make the preparation very well. So make sure the powder can stick well on your nail plate, and make sure the nail can last like 2 or 3 weeks. And I also check out the information from the Facebook group, and for some newcomers, they don't know how to remove the thick powder. You can just check out the rice master on the YouTube, and that's kind of rice master is kind of popular. While for our GH, here's what we suggest. We just first we just buff away as much of the thick powder as possible because this will speed up the soak up process. And then just soak the cotton balls in 100% acetone, and place the cotton balls on top of each nail, and wrap the foil around your fingers. And we can just wait for about 15 minutes and then remove the foil. And I think that's done, and we just push everything off with the cuticle pusher. And then you can just remove the dip powder and create your new one. This kind of convenient and save your time. And so far for our GH kits, we have 18 kits with 108 colors. And lately we just released the 20 pieces kit, and they are G6601 and G6605 with 12 pieces included in each set. So now we are getting more and more colors, and you guys can use different kinds of colors to make a perfect match and to create a unique and special nail art design. Just brainstorming, you can create a very special and very wonderful nail art design. And next, we are going to launch and release more and more colors, more and more collections, like glow in the dark or some chunky glitter collection. I think it's going to be to happen at the end of November. So everybody just keep an eye on it. And you can follow our Facebook and follow our Amazon to have more and more information about it. While using the brush to brush off any dust particles. And then using the link-free wipe to wipe off any dust. The number 2 activator. Well, this step is to make the top coat get dried and double shiny. Just brush it from middle to left and to right. Remember that do not over apply this kind of activator because it might cause the cracking problem. And in the whole process, we only need to apply one time. And then we are using the top coat. Well, first layer, just apply in a very quick and thin strokes. Just apply a very thin layer. As you can see for our top coat, it's super easy to apply. And make sure don't get the top coat onto the cuticle area. And now we are start to do this second layer. When it gets matte but silky, we can start to apply the second layer. To control and apply. So it is very good for the beginners. Well, now it gets matte but still sticky, so that we can start to apply the second layer. To create the super shine nail surface. Just make sure you brush it evenly and avoid getting the top coat onto the cuticles. As you can see, it is super shiny now. And it's gonna dry within 1 minute. For first layer, just apply less. And then we come to the second layer, we can apply more than the first layer. This is the trick when you are using the number 4 top coat. Number 3 top coat. Well, just follow steps by step so that you can create a super shine nail art design. Well, by using our fast dry dipping powder and the dipping system, you can create the nail art design like gel effect. As you can see, it is super shiny and looks very unique and special. So now we have already finished the nail art design. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.